Hello and welcome to the video. In this video I will talk about the science behind bone conditioning and how using this type of training can safely turn your body into a weapon. And as a bonus I will also reveal a secret that many karate masters use when breaking solid objects. Let's start with the science behind bone conditioning. We will begin with the Wolff's Law that tells us that bones in a healthy organism adapt to the amount of pressure and stress that is put on them. This is similar to muscle hypertrophy, since after your muscles get damaged after a workout, they heal and become stronger and bigger. The same thing applies with bones. Methods such as Kung Fu Iron Fist training or the Iron Body training, where they would hit solid objects in order to create microfractures on their bones that will heal afterwards, making their bones stronger and more tolerant to the impact. However, you shouldn't simply hit solid objects with full force, since this will lead to an injury and it will slow down your training progress by a lot. Hitting hard and solid objects with great power is only okay to do when you have been doing this for many years and your bones are used to the impact. I will go through methods on how you can condition your shins, fists, fingers, arms, and other body parts in order to harden them. After that, I will tell you the mechanics of how different martial arts styles break things like baseball bats, bricks, and other objects. For your fists, it is highly recommended to do knuckle push-ups for toughening the skin and improving the bone density. Once you have no issue doing this on a flat floor, you can then slowly move on to do them outside, preferably on a concrete floor. Meanwhile, don't forget to also practice wall punches, and as you feel less pain and get used to the impact, you will slowly put more power behind these punches. Another detail that you have to consider is your wrist strength. Don't forget to strengthen. Be sure to do exercises like push-ups on your backhand and other similar exercises in order to strengthen your wrist and avoid injuries. If it hurts badly, then attempt to do them on your knees. Then over time you can do them properly. The reason why we need to strengthen our wrist is to make sure that our wrist doesn't bend at the moment of the impact that will lead to an injury. I would also recommend focusing on your grip strength to make sure that you have a tighter fist. But I will make more detailed videos on the topic of grip strength in the future. For the meantime, make sure you wear hand wraps before punching a wall or doing any of these exercises. A small tip before you start conditioning your fist. Make sure you hit the first two knuckles twice and then do the same for the other three and switch between them. Now let's talk about shin bones. It is one of the thickest bones in the human body, which makes it a very important part in the process of walking. That is also the reason why it is really painful whenever you receive a hit to that bone, since your body wants to make sure that this part is safe and secure. However, it also plays a big role in many of the kicking techniques. In Muay Thai, for example, it is both your sword and your shield. Now, what should we do to make it stronger? One of the things to remember is that it doesn't matter how much you train your shins, it will still hurt like hell. You simply need to get used to it over time. However, it is a lot better to get hit there than having it broken in the middle of a fight or at any point in time. In order to train this bone, I would recommend using something like Thai pads or heavy boxing bags. You should hit with full force, and if you're hitting a heavy bag, then I would recommend you do low kicks and hit the lowest part of the bag. That is usually the hardest one. You can also use something of a stick and roll it down your shins in order to remove nerves. However, it won't help much and you will still feel pain, but it is a good way to condition and get used to it. Running can also play a major role when conditioning your shins, since whenever you're running, you're creating a small impact and therefore creating microfractions within your bone, which means that it becomes thicker afterwards. Many of those principles can also be applied to your arms. You can condition them by hitting either a heavy bag, Thai pads, or a solid object. However, you should also pay attention to do it carefully. Moving on to the body. This one is better done with a partner. Here, more focus is going to be put on muscles themselves rather than bones. However, the impact will still make them thicker. Exercises that are focused on the core are going to play a major role here. As an addition, you can find yourself a partner and hit each other in different places on the body. It is important to also discuss the amount of power that you put behind those hits. So you have to throw your ego out of the window if you want to prevent injuries. It is also a good idea to perform these while wearing gear, like boxing gloves and shin guards for extra safety. Don't forget to also work with low kicks. This will build up the level of how much kicks to the leg you can take. Moving on to fingers. Here you should put more focus on your tendons, grip strength, and the fingertips. For training your tendons and grip strength, you can try something simple and traditional. You can use sand or rice for these kinds of training. Dig your hand deep into it and begin to twist your wrist and grip with all your might. You can also try exercises that are focused on your grip strength using weights or a simple pull-up bar. For your fingertips, you can do a simple exercise that will help you avoid further injuries, both short-term and long-term. You can tap a solid object, hitting them and creating small microfractures as a result. You can also do push-ups on your fingertips. This will greatly increase all aspects, including grip strength. In case you want me to show you how to train other parts of the body, like backhand, for example, or other parts, let me know down in the comments. Now, let's analyze how people manage to break things such as stones and so on. Firstly, whenever they're breaking something like concrete plates or wooden desks, they make sure that the sides are firm and there's space in the center. This helps them deliver a devastating blow and therefore breaking the object. However, when it comes to breaking stones, they place the object at a very specific angle, and they usually keep it millimeters away from the solid ground. So whenever they hit, the damage isn't only done by their hand, but also by the object beneath the stone. They also usually strike either at the edge or at the center of the stone, where the object is usually weak. However, you must avoid doing these tricks on iron or on stones that are dark blue, since stones like these usually contain large amounts of iron within them, making them very difficult to break. You must also make sure that your hands are conditioned enough to pull such things off. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like and share it with your friends. Stay strong.